let's see. Speaking of libraries, I do have some information about the Franklin Avenue Library lead um, renovations. You can see that there. Franklin Avenue Library Renovation Project. And this comes from the Des Moines Public Library website. It turns out that they're doing a lot of updates to the Franklin Avenue Library. They've received a lot of grants and funding to renovate the Franklin Avenue Library and make it more LEED friendly, the solar panels. And so it's been sitting in Merle Hay Mall up until now. And they're hoping to move into the new location on Franklin Avenue, I think sometime this year. But they do mention that a strong library system boosts the local tax base, which is true. It enhances economic development by attracting more residents and businesses searching for a vibrant community to call home. And so that's definitely adding to the Franklin Avenue Library area. We also have a Forest Avenue Library that's unfortunately had its services constricted due to apparently a lack of funding, which is unfortunate. All of our library systems are guided by a board appointed by Frank County, our mayor, who also presides over the city council. So there has been really disturbing distress over lack of access to information literacy at the North Central branch, which is Forest Avenue, constricting of the hours, constricting of evening service, weekend service, which is really unfortunate. Hopefully we're not sacrificing one branch to build up another. I don't think that's pretty forward thinking. But anyway, it's great that there's updates to the Franklin branch and that there's going to be forward focus on renewable energy as a part of that.
How painful do you think that's going to be?
Well, it's going to be a challenge, but it's not nearly as painful as a lot of families have gone through. A lot of families have had to cut their budgets substantially, get rid of their credit cards, live with a member of the family unemployed. A lot of companies have done spending cuts. I mean, people have taken salary reductions. Just recently, major private employer here in Des Moines, the employees at Bridgestone Tire and Rubber Company not only accepted a pay freeze for the next 2 years, but are going to pay more for their health insurance. And they're already paying towards their health insurance. Many state employees pay nothing towards their health insurance. Hardly anybody is in that situation today. I think that's only fair and reasonable that they ought to pay something towards their health insurance so that they also will be cognizant. I mean, it's like Governor Pawlenty says, if you go to a wedding and they have a cash bar versus an open bar, obviously, if you're paying part of the cost of it, you're going to be more cognizant of it. And so I think we need to have a shared, a shared acceptance of trying to deal with these issues and doing it in an equitable way that treats not only public employees in a very fair way, but also treats the taxpayers and the citizens who have had made big sacrifices themselves.
Speaking of city departments and quality of life and economic development, we've also talked about Capital Crossroads, which is an organization that's, it's a group that they're created to develop a strategic community and economic development plan for the metro area of Des Moines. They're going to be meeting with residents at 5 p.m. on January 19th at the Des Moines Botanical Center, and that's 909 Robert Ray Drive in Des Moines. And this involves the Community Foundation of Greater Des Moines and the Greater Des Moines Partnership. And so they have a vision of the region. They want to work with the local government and education and healthcare and business and community leaders. And they're going to see a presentation from Market Street, which is going to probably give an update on the survey that we discussed in the show last December. A lot of residents in the area participated in that survey, and then we'll see which direction our city decided for itself that it wanted to go. There's also going to be, I did attend the city council meeting from January 10th. January 10th city council meeting. Two items on the agenda were of particular focus, and this was number 53 and number 54. Number 53, on various city-owned right-of-way parcels, the conveyance to Hatch Development Group. Senator Jack Hatch and the Iowa Finance Authority and a low-income program have combined to develop housing, and low-income housing rent-to-own for a 15-year term. According to Senator Jack Hatch, his project has the full support of the Planning and Zoning Commission, and Smoky Row, the cafe, little restaurant that's in that area, is on board. However, the Sherman Hill Association is not on board. They claim that they weren't fully informed, not fully included in the decision making. And however, Christine Hensley, who's on the council, did disagree with that. Other residents from that area expressed their reservations about the inadequate notice to the degree that the council agreed to the majority of the conveyances to the Hatch Group. However, abstained from two until all those interested parties could come to an agreement, hopefully prior to the next council meeting, which is January 24th. The other interesting item on the agenda was the Des Moines Airport Authority. We just talked about the Southwest Airlines. And so in general, the FAA, it was discussed, generally prefers authorities, and many cities have created them. Mayor Frank County requested measurable statistics to use for decision making, like the amount of customers at Des Moines International Airport who come from outside the city of Des Moines. And then for confidentiality and competitive reasons, it was mentioned that airlines generally don't release this information. But then someone did bring up that perhaps photographs of license plates might be one option to try. They would have to consider the increase in traffic created by Southwest Airlines. And then they also said that total passengers per year would be the best measurement of success. There's an expected 34% increase. A lot of questions did come up from people who chose to speak about the airport authority, namely, what can the authority do that the current board can't? What about transparency, and what are the qualifications to be on the board? And there was a recommendation by Skip Moore, the councilman at large, to make the board at least 50% male and then 50% female. And so they also wanted to know about using the Des Moines Police Department for security. So those questions, and then also the authority to create law. There's concern about overstepping, and that an appointed board should not have the ability to create law. So there's a lot to be discussed yet on the Des Moines Airport Authority, but it's possible to follow this issue and other issues at the next City Council meeting on January 24th. To include an item on the council agenda, you need to have it to the city clerk by 5 p.m. the Wednesday preceding the council meeting. You can visit, again, www.dmgov.org. In general, the items that get discussed at the council meetings cover allocation of grants, payment of services, loan allocations, awarding of contracts, appointments to boards and commissions, zoning, rezoning, planning, construction and development issues. And I do believe that Susan Voss, who is on the library board, will be stepping down from her position, or either that or her term ends on January 31st. And so Frank County does make those appointments. So it's always good to pay attention and see how decisions are made. And that's possible to do that at the council meeting. I believe it is televised as well.